And this is where things, I think, start to get really kind of interesting. Because once I understood the second character, I almost immediately knew the Joker's backstory. So
Okay. Who's the character?
Yes. So there is a scene in the movie where there's two fairies, one with the criminals on it, one with the average citizens of Gotham.
Right.
Okay. The one with the criminal on it has Debo from Friday. You know that guy's name. Yeah, his name was Debo in Friday.
Yes.
So Debo is on the prisoner one. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're looking at anyone other than Debo, you're seeing something very clear, which is that everyone is afraid of this guy.
Yeah.
So he's not just like, he's not some like, I don't know, I don't know what to call him, like some born again guy where everyone knows like this guy used to be hard, but now he's like pretty soft and you can kind of trust him and he's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
He's not that guy.
Yeah.
He's not like the toughest prisoner in Nebraska. This guy's Gotham tough. Like the Gotham prisoners are afraid of this guy. Like no one stands up to him when he stands up.
Okay.
Okay. Then he is the guy who takes the detonator. He basically tells the guy like, "Give it to me. I'm going to kill you and take it from you."
Right.
He takes the detonator. He throws it out the window. This made absolutely no sense to me. I'm like, why would the Gotham prisoners, be afraid of this guy?
Yeah.
And why would the guards be afraid of this guy?
Yeah.
Everyone knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
So like
he did some messed up stuff.
Yes. So I'm like, what could have happened that would turn this guy, he's got scars on his face, he's huge,
Right.
he's scary looking,
Yeah.
everyone's afraid of him. What would turn this guy from being the toughest guy in Gotham to the most selfless person on the planet?
Right.
Like, what happened? And then I was like, wait a second, something did happen that could cause this change. In the last movie, the Scarecrow released a fear toxin.
Oh.
So Gotham had an apocalyptic event happen to them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
here's my backstory behind Debo.
Okay.
So Debo is a murderer. He's like super tough. He has no remorse.
Yeah.
He doesn't really feel anything. He just likes being the toughest dude around.
Yeah.
Everyone's afraid of him for a reason. Like if you're a prisoner and you mess with this guy, you challenge him, you're gonna get, like you're gonna be breathing through a tube for the rest of your life if you're lucky. That's who this dude is.
He's a big guy.
Then the fear event happens.
Yeah.
Where that fear toxin gets released throughout the sort of like
it's like the water pipeline.
Yeah, through the water pipeline, that one island on Gotham just gets hit with it.
Right.
And now, for the first time in Debo's life, he feels fear.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
So while all the other prisoners are going crazy on this stuff, he's cowering in his cell.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't leave his cell. He just stays in his cell, terrified.
Yeah.
And now the images of all these people that he's hurt, he now knows what it felt like for them. And he feels bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes from being like the baddest criminal in Gotham to now being changed to a person who now doesn't want to prey on innocent people anymore.
He's a sympathizer.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to make people feel like that. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So what happens is the whole fairy incident happens, and now it takes him a while to stand up and do something because it's the first time he's ever done that.
Yeah.
And he's kind of going over it in his head. And he's like, I don't want all these innocent people to die. It looks like this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And now I have a choice to make. And I choose to save these innocent people over even my own life and the life of all these people that probably deserve what's coming to us.
Right. They're Gotham prisoners.
Yes.
So they probably deserve it.
Yes, they probably deserve
Okay.
it. He now kind of is like mirroring Batman in a lot of ways, because in the first movie, Batman's supposed to execute the farmer who murders his neighbor, and Batman's like, I'm not an executioner, you know? And then, so Debo, I think, sort of is mirroring Batman in that way, where he's like, I'm not an executioner. I'm not going to kill these innocent people.
Right.
You know? I don't think he's made this full change, because I think when he says, like, I'm going to kill you and take it from you, I think he means it.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think he's made
like,
that
you're gonna
full
die
change.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I do think that there is this like theme in Batman of like these traumatic events are going to shape you, and it's going to shape you in like a direction you're not always maybe in control of.
Yeah.
But like Batman's traumatic thing kind of shaped him into becoming like the Batman vigilante, who's now like preying on those who prey on people. And I think Debo's transformation actually turned him from somebody who's like, I will not hurt an innocent person. I'll go out of my way to protect an innocent person, but I'll kill you to do it. You know, so he's not like, he doesn't have Batman's, you know.
He's not quite as enlightened, but he's getting there. He's getting there.
But so he's kind of made this change. Then I was like, once I understood this, though, where I was like, okay, that's this guy's backstory. That makes sense. This apocalyptic event happened, and that could have caused this massive change in this person.
Yeah.
And once I saw that, I saw the Joker. Yeah. And I was like, if this guy can turn from the baddest dude in Gotham to the softest, then an ordinary person who's soft can turn the other way and become one of the baddest dudes.
Yeah.
So here is my Joker backstory. I kind of think the Joker was maybe visiting Gotham with his family. He's got his wife and his son.
Okay. All right.
Then
I think a great opera house.
Yeah. And then I think they're going down the streets. I think the fear event happens.
Yeah.
And they get attacked by a mob of people. And he is powerless to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's frozen with fear, something like that, and all he can do is watch his wife and son be murdered.
Okay.
And then these guys, this gang, this group, they get to him, and one of them has a knife.
Okay.
And they cut into his cheek, but only on one side.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And now he is now mirroring Batman's story as well. Only he's like the father who couldn't protect his family. Rather than like the child who's helpless, he's the father who's helpless in this situation.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? He's just like, the manager at like a Kinko's or, you know what I mean?
Like the most normal guy in the world.
Yes. Like he has no criminal record.
Unassuming.
Unassuming. He's never been in an insane asylum. He's never been, he wasn't a police officer. He wasn't a veteran. He has no training.
Yeah.
Right?
He's average Joe.
Yes. At some point during this fear event, he snaps. So he escapes from like the mob of people who are like trying to kill him. The only thing he has is this massive scar on one side.
Yeah.
And now he's going through this, and it eventually breaks him. Where now he's no longer this guy who's like, look, there's rules. We live in a civilized society.
There's
now
structure.
Now he's like, wait a second. At any moment, something crazy can happen.
Yeah.
And everyone goes crazy, and you lose everything. And
Chaos.
It doesn't matter. And no one's coming to help you or save you or any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So once the event ends, and most people go back to like normalcy, other than Debo and the Joker, these guys don't go back. Joker doesn't go back to normalcy. He now lives in it. His whole life outlook has changed. And this is who he is now. He's this guy. And what he does once the event is over is he eventually, looking at himself in the mirror, he takes a knife and he cuts the other side. And now he's put the mask on.
Okay.
This is him like putting on the mask.
Batman mask.
Yes, and becoming the Joker. So it's
Okay.
like, and I also feel like Batman has this theme of like putting the mask on, where Batman kind of like, Batman puts the mask on, Joker becomes the Joker. Like Joker doesn't put the mask on, Joker is the mask.
Yeah.
Like the old guy dies. It's the thing that like they do in the third movie where like Bane's like, no one cared about me until I put the mask on. But it's like, like Batman can't say that because he's Bruce Wayne and everyone cared about him before he put the mask on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And Bane's basically telling him like, you're not Batman, you're Bruce Wayne. I'm Bane. I am the mask. This is who I am.
Bane
and Batman
can't even take the mask off.
Yes.
He can't take it off.
Yeah, and Batman has to learn how to actually become Batman.
Yeah.
So the Joker is the Joker. He becomes this thing, and he chooses it when he cuts the other side of his face. So.
Wow.
Yes. Now the Joker, this is the cool thing about the Joker, because the Joker's hinting towards us about all this stuff, because he's saying like when you came, Batman, Gotham went crazy, which is true. Batman comes into Gotham almost like this harbinger, and then shortly after, this apocalypse happens that changes everything.
Yeah.
Then the Joker also can't stand the mobsters. Like the gangsters in Gotham, he's like, all you guys care about is money, because these guys are taking money, and in return they're like basically just giving Gotham to these to the Raj Al Ghul League of Shadow people. Like, we'll take your money so you can destroy Gotham. And he's just like, like you guys are like a cheap criminal. And like, I'm the better criminal. I don't care about money. You can't persuade me. You can't bully me. You can't do anything. I just do my thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's hinting us to like all these things on like why the Joker is the Joker. I feel like if Batman took the Joker seriously earlier on, because at the end of the first movie, the commissioner's like, this guy, double homicide, the Joker, you know? Yeah. And Batman's like, low-level criminal.
Right.
But if Batman actually went after him earlier on, he could have stopped him a lot sooner because he was so unsophisticated.
Right.
You know? But the reason why he was being noticed wasn't because of the double homicide, was because he was painting his face and he had these crazy scars and he was leaving the calling card of like the Joker. That's why he was being noticed, not because of what he was doing was like sophisticated or, you know, or anything like that. The sophistication, I think, came later on. And I see it as he was finding people even in that bank heist at the beginning. He's finding the guys that can handle the job. And he's just the like, kind of like, you know, hey, if we pull off the bank heist, cool. If I get killed during it, cool, because it doesn't matter. If I get arrested during it, cool, because it doesn't matter. And if, you know, and I kind of have a little plan for what happens afterwards, but it might not work out. Who knows? We'll see, you know?
It's chaos anyway, so.
Yeah.
That might be the best backstory I've heard for the Joker.